Welcome! Welcome everyone to Alone in the Dark, the original 1992 classic. This outfit turned out much darker than we expected, and it kind of just blends into the background, doesn't it? Um, well, there's not much to do about that. If you have not heard of this game before, this is the game that basically started the survival horror genre. It was released as an atmospheric survival horror game at 1992. It has fixed camera angles, tank controls, everything that Resident Evil would later make use of, essentially. Um, and it's also one of our favorite games. It's a game that we know very well by heart, and as such, we can pretty much guarantee we will play through the entire game tonight on stream. So look forward to that. Now, I'm going to do a quick reset of the game. So, you can pick between two characters, Emily Hartwood and Edward Carnby, who we're kind of cosplaying as, but you can't really tell because it's so dark. This is like a green suit, like if we do like this. So it looks a bit more blue here, but like it's a green jacket. Will we show off in a unique depth? Of course. Hello Jeb. Hello Jelly. Now we streamed this game 2 years ago for Halloween. Thank you. And that time we played it as Edward Carnby. He was kind of the main protagonist of the Alone in the Dark franchise. He's playable in almost every game, and technically every game. And he's been like revamped several times into new characters. So because we played as him last time, we're gonna play as Emily Hartwood this time. The game is the same. It doesn't really alter anything. There's just a story that's slightly different. Like the reason you're alone in the dark um, is the main difference. So he's playable late games in some extremely weird ways. Yeah, so there are 7 Alone in the Dark games. There's the original trilogy, set in 1923, 24, 25. Then there's Alone in the Dark, The New Nightmare, which was a reboot, which had a whole new Edward Carnby. Then the 5th game, just called Alone in the Dark, or Alone in the Dark Inferno, which we can't wait until we're gonna stream through that at some point. That's actually a sequel to the original trilogy, but it's set in modern day, in 2008. And one of the twists, and this was in the trailer, so it's not a spoiler really, is that Edward is now over 100 years old. He's been preserved for all these years. Then the 6th game, Alone in the Dark Illumination, has Theodore Carnby, Ted Carnby, who is said to be Edward Carnby's like what's the word for unspecified offspring, like down the line? The opposite of ancestor, or whatever. But it's implied in the game that it's actually Edward Carnby under a descendant. Thank you. It's actually Edward Carnby under a new identity. And there's the new upcoming game, Alone in the Dark, for 2023, which is another reboot. Also has Edward Carnby and Emily Hartwood, as well as Grace Saunders from Alone in the Dark 2. But let's get to the game, shall we? Actually, we're gonna pour ourselves. Actually, no. We have a hot drink, so it's okay. We have our fancy hot cocoa here. Yeah, Grace Saunders is back. Hello, Leda. In fact, the new game is gonna have a demo based on Jack in the Dark, which was the little free demo that came with Alone in the Dark 2. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, Grace Saunders' Descendant is also playable in Alone in the Dark 6. Like Alone in the Dark 6 is a horrible game, but it there are points where at least it did try. Like they have descendants of Carnby, Hartwood, and Saunders in that game. So like it's not like they just slapped the name on like a non-Alone in the Dark game. Like they did try. It's just bad in every way possible. With that said, the girl who's Grace Saunders' descendant, I can't remember her name now because the characters are called they're called like classes. So it's like the hunter, the witch, the engineer, the priest, and she's the engineer. It's something on G as well, Saunders, because their entire family is just named G names and Saunders. She's really cute, and we wish she was in a better game. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's do this. Let's play Alone in the Dark 1. This is the DOS original version. No, sorry, this is the... Well, it is the DOS version, but this is actually the CD-ROM release with like improved audio and voice acting and stuff like that. We kind of wanted to play the non-voice acting version, but it's just a pain to get a hold of because this is the version we have. So let's just get to it.
The attorney's letter came as a deep shock to me. My Uncle Jeremy had died by his own hand. The coroner's report was unequivocal. He hanged himself in the loft. My initial surprise and distress past, I considered the news. It seemed clear that Derceto had exercised a thoroughly morbid influence on my uncle's mind. That creaking old mansion with its unusual tales, its secret library door, the ancient upstairs clock, all those occult books that my uncle could not resist reading in spite of his fragile nerves. Fate had pointed its finger. Derceto had trapped its prey. Mr. McCarthy, the family lawyer, suggested selling the old house. I immediately opposed the idea. My duty is clear. I must go to Derceto. I tremble at the thought of those dark corridors, those brooding portraits. Yet I am convinced that Uncle Jeremy left a note, a letter of some kind explaining his fateful decision. I remember his voice saying, "Look at the piano, Emily. Look harder. Maybe the secret drawer will yield up an explanation." I have the feeling things will not be so simple. Life is a mystery containing more mysteries. Jeremy taught me that much. Now is the time to confront the mysteries. Derceto is waiting for me. I pray that my fear is nothing more than the fruit of my imagination. Nothing will ever persuade me that my uncle was insane. But why did he, according to the police report, block the loft window with the old wardrobe?
Didn't realize they put a clue in Emily's introduction there that they don't in Edward's. Alright, so yeah, we played this game twice on this channel. We did a Let's Play in like 2018 and 2017. And then 2 years ago we streamed it for Halloween. Froggy! This game's often... Oh, this shot right here, the window shot, it's a famous shot. The first 4 Alone in the Dark games all have a window shot early in this. Yeah, so this game is often misidentified as the first game with like playable 3D models. And it's not really true. It is the first game with fully modeled player characters, like polygonal 3D player characters. There were like boxing games, like first-person boxing games that came before this, but they didn't have full character models. Hello Rama, this is a golf game. Yeah, but it's like the predecessor to games like Resident Evil. Yeah, precisely. We're gonna show off as many of the fun deaths as possible. This game has a lot of fun deaths. It's like half point-and-click adventure, but you don't point-and-click, but it's like classic adventure game, and half survival horror. So the first thing we're gonna do is try and run. There we go. You double tap forward to run, and gonna push the closet in front of the wall, like Emily remembered her uncle doing. Oh, we're pushing it a bit too far away from the... There we go. Hello, Narancha! Oh yeah, like the backgrounds in particular are really gorgeous. Shadow drama, yeah, we can relate to that. This game scared the fuck out of us back in 1990 whatever when we played it. This was the game that got us into horror games and horror stuff in general, basically. Okay, now I can start picking stuff up. So what we just did is we secured the loft, because now there's gonna be a monster trying to get in through the window, but it can't because of the closet. Oh, this music is so good. Oh, that sound. Love it. And here's a ghoul trying to get through the trapdoor. Don't worry about us, like, stopping the monsters. There'll be plenty of monsters appearing, even though we're currently avoiding them. Nothing here! So this always bugged us, right? Like, in both Edward and Emily's introductions, they're like, oh, find the hidden compartment in the piano. And it's like... there isn't one. I think there's 2 shots in the rifle. 4 shots in the rifle. So running is really difficult. You double tap forward to run, but like it almost never works properly. There's no run button. Gonna check the bookshelf. Found a book. So finding books, very much the precursor to the files in Resident Evil. Spent a lot of time reading books in this game.
Fragment of the Myth of the Golden Fleece. Translation, Edouard de Villeban, Hesperides Publications.
Then Perseus came across Ikios, who had been turned into stone. He spoke to his companions and said, "Beware of the Medusa. He who looks into their eyes is doomed to the same fate as that which befell poor Ikios, and will never more set eyes on Seriphos." "Must we go blindfolded?" asked Emelopes.
Take up your bronze shields and polish them until they flash in the sun, answered Perseus. Fill your hearts with courage.
Yeah, we did kind of wanted to play the original that didn't have narration, because then we get to narrate it ourselves. But this is the version that's easiest to play because it's on Steam and it's also the version we own. So like on CD-ROM. So
May Artemis guide us as though we were an arrow from her quiver. But Eumolpus was not satisfied. Why do that, Perseus? Is 3 inches of sharpened metal not enough to destroy these accursed creatures? Then Perseus drew his sword, which shone and glittered in the sun, and with it he dazzled Eumolpus. Now what can you see? The companions of Zeus' sons laughed. Let us set to work, so that our shields may shine like mirrors.
we just got a hint for 3 different things in the game. All of which are mandatory, actually. We're gonna put this on the ground. Need it. There is limited inventory space in this game. Yay! Rocking horse. You can't do anything with it. It just rocks back and forth. Yeah, so you might have seen that we have fight as an option. Unlike Resident Evil, you don't need like a melee weapon to fight. You literally just have like combat abilities. So you hold down the fight button, then press the right button for the right arm, left button for the left arm, and up to kick, or down to kick. In the later games, up is a headbutt instead. You can throw most things, it's really fun. The physics, if you want to call it that, don't work super well, but that's kind of part of the charm as well. Doors you don't need to use the open feature for, you can just approach them and they will open. Here we can show the first fun death. We're gonna show the floor. So you might see that there's like some little, like the wood doesn't seem aligned properly here, right? Dead. That's a classic adventure game for you, very, very much in the vein of Sierra games. It's locked. Let's need to find a key. Okay, if you're really fast here, you can finish getting stuff here before the door closes. Which... well, you'll see. Nothing important. Okay. Ooh, a sword. Yeah, they don't need to open it again. A ghoul! Yeah, we know where every single enemy location is in this game. Oh, fuck. Oh god, we're getting comboed. Okay. Kick is taking too long. There we go. Holy shit. That took way more health from us than we wanted, but that's okay. The ghouls can combo you really meanly sometimes. I don't remember exactly where, like which cupboards can be opened, or like so which one stuff can be found in more, to be more precise. Been a little too long since the last playthrough for that. Ah. We weren't able to barricade before the ghoul came in. That's okay. This is a shorter ghoul. Oh, come on. You can combo them as well, just like, it becomes a matter of timing. Should mention, by the way, despite Edward Carm becoming like the series protagonist after this, Emily Hartwood is like the default character when you pick your character at the start of the game. Come on. Yeah. This is only dark for you. Getting comboed. Okay, let's see if we can maybe dodge the first ghoul. We're really quick. Technically, you don't actually need the saber, but it's easier to have it. Yay, we did it! Yeah, so that ghoul is not actually, like, that ghoul is like programmed to appear the second time you open the door, so you can just avoid it like that. This one, however, is designed to come when you hit this screen. So, there it is. Oh no! Our saber broke. Oh, come on. Is Emily slower than Edward? Because we will admit, we normally play as Edward, and have never had this much trouble kicking the zombies. We don't want to waste our shotgun, but might be for the best. Did we miss both of those shots? This is absurd. We have played through this game on a fucking iPad, and we can't do this. Oh. That's not good. Okay, well we're going to make use of the shotgun, and we will just hope we don't need it later. Clearly our kung fu skills are not up to par. Maybe she is slower than Edward. I wonder if she has some other, like, thing that balances it out. Oh, really? So the problem is that we know that there are unavoidable enemies coming very soon that we really wanted to use the shotgun for, but she runs faster? Well, that's great for a game where you can't run. Maybe we can, like, stop the ghoul from coming in. No, we can't. Edward has better reach in his kicks, that explains it. Gotta try and just combo him by the door. We used to call these zombies. We only found out that they're officially called ghouls very recently. Like, this game makes use of voodoo lore. We just assumed they were like voodoo zombies. I mean, they look like zombies. And I guess ghouls and zombies are basically the same thing, depending on, like, unless your lore specifies otherwise. But, you know, still. Yay! Because here's the fight that we were actually dreading, because this is a legitimately hard fight. Or rather, it's easy to get cornered. If you get cornered in this fight, you are just fucked. Okay. Come here, buddy.
Oh,
For fuck's sake.
oh.
Good. So you have to actually like kill that before you pick up the mirrors, because if you have the mirrors on you and you get hit, you will the mirrors will break and you can't finish the game. Thankfully, we will be using the mirrors very soon, so it's not the end of the world that they put something like that early on. Damn, Emily's stacked. Hope they reflect that properly in the reboot. No water. No water. So, how up to date are people on their Lovecraftian lore? These right here are night gaunts. Normally, night gaunts appear outdoors or in caves and at night. But here they are. There's one. There's another one. So this is where, like, oh, that book we read talked about shining bronze shields like mirrors. Maybe if we put the mirrors towards these, they'll be confused. This makes no sense because Nikons don't have faces, but it's a very loose interpretation of the Calcium Call of Cthulhu lore. Yes, correct. This was going to be the first game called Call of Cthulhu, like based on the Calcium tabletop RPG. It lost the name because Chaosium felt it was too action focused. And Night Gaunt's dead. Okay, if we don't let a monster kill us, assume that there's nothing interesting that happens if you die by that monster. It's just a regular death. But yeah, so Chaosium licensed out the Call of Cthulhu. The Call of Cthulhu itself, like the short story, is public domain, but the role-playing game is not. So they licensed out the role-playing game to Infogrames. They were going to make 3 games based on the IP. There's a red ghost that can kill us. We're actually going to show how she kills us because it's really funny. Just gonna do red ghost. So there are some ghosts in this game, and basically they turn into balls like this. She will stand up, and she's balls. These balls can chase you across an entire floor. They never stop. They cannot be defeated. We can go wherever we want. Doesn't matter. They will get to us. So I'm just gonna let it combo us to death. Oh yeah, and we can get the full game over screen as well. We haven't gone that yet. Yeah, so this game had a lot of different names in development. When they first started developing it, it was called In the Dark. You can tell most of that name kind of survived. That's the death screen. If your body is intact, that is the death screen. That is the death screen. Otherwise, you don't get that death screen. Okay, so then they got the Chaosium license. So it's going to be Call of Cthulhu in the Dark, or Call of Cthulhu Doom of Derzeto was the other name. Here's a poker for a fireplace. You can't do anything with it. It exists in the game. You literally can't do anything with it. It's just there to annoy you. We think it's probably from like a like a puzzle that never got finished in the game or something. It's the only item in the game that has no use. But yeah, then they lost the. They didn't lose the Chaosium license, but like Chaosium was like, this is a little too action oriented. Maybe don't call it Call of Cthulhu because you're not supposed to fight the monsters in Call of Cthulhu. So they were gonna call it Scream in the Dark or Screams in the Dark. It's been a little inconsistent whether it was Scream or just Screams. And then it became a loader. So this is where we used that cover earlier. This of course referring to the Golden Fleece. And we can't actually do the rest of this puzzle yet because like we need to do a thing with the painting over there as well, but we don't want to clog up our inventories. We're just gonna get that done first. Let's see. I think this is the room where we find out what happened to our uncle. I also noticed an enemy here that hops in through the window, so enemy window. A notebook. And there the combat music starts.
Oh. Oh.
Never realized that Emily's like hard mode in this game. We're so used to playing as Edward. Oh fuck. Oh, healing up. You feel better. Okay.
Diary of Jeremy Hartwood. September 27th, 1924. I have decided to keep this diary. Too many inexplicable events have taken place recently. Never have dreams so haunted my every waking moment. Perhaps my romantic mind was too dull, and has only now woken up to these new paths and visions.
Correction from earlier, we said that this game takes place in 23. This was 24.
Some, seeing my recent paintings, may question my sanity. I can only ask them, what is sanity? Where does madness begin? September 28th, 1924. The night is pitch black. I am again drenched in sweat. I was wandering in the dunes, among giant standing stones. They were arranged in a circle, and the wind whistled about them. I plunged my hand into the soil and felt that repulsive thing which was trying to catch me. It seized me. I struggled to break free of its loathsome embrace and managed to tear my hand away. It was covered in sticky substance. I was gripping a knife. October 5th, 1924. The stone circle is a pentacle. Derceto's library is filled with books on the occult. I will study those books until I find some explanation for the dreams. The visions that haunt me must be connected to my discoveries. I shall have to undertake a profound exploration of my dreams.
Locaset.
December 16th. Dear God, I have found the knife. It was hidden here, and what I have learned fills me with apprehension. It is a sacrificial dagger belonging to some unholy cult. The thought of that blade tearing through human flesh horrifies me, yet I must continue my research. Derceto is a storehouse of treasures. Was my father right, after all? January 23rd. I spend all my days plunged in dusty books. The servants are convinced I am mad. At night, I awaken them with my screams. The dreams are draining what sanity I still have. I have tried staying awake, but in vain. My visions have changed. No doubt the influence of my father's research.
Again, correction again, I guess it's 25. Could have sworn we read it was 23 yesterday. When we, checked some stuff about the game. Oh well.
February 7th, 1925. The Dark Man, that is what I call him, has revealed his true face to me. He appeared, as usual, near the fireplace, but this time he approached me.
Oh yeah, we know this is Lovecraftian, but the Dark Man is not referring to a black man. It's just poor word choice.
His terrible smile will haunt me to my dying day. His breath was ice, and his burning eyes froze me. I could not move. I know, as surely as I have ever known anything, that the face I saw, the face that has turned my nights into hellish torture, is the mask of death. March 10th. My exhaustion is beyond description. The endless reading burns my eyes. It seems that pirates frequented the area. Dr. Herbert insists I keep to my bed. I have moved to another bedroom and sleep much better now. The Dark Man has not gone, however. I know it. He will wait for as long as he must. Unless I, Jeremy Hartwood, can find a way to send him back to whatever hell he comes from. March 11th. My poor knowledge of Greek and Latin is a serious handicap to my reading. I have, nevertheless, made a great step forward. I drew the symbol on the floor. He can no longer go there. I want him to understand that I can do the same thing in my bedroom. I can imagine his rage and frustration. Only last night he found his way back into my dreams. March 13th. The translation will seriously dent what money I have left. I cannot paint. My pictures are clearly the work of a lunatic. The collector Thornhill's embarrassed smile was proof of that. March 29th. He has come back. He found the door to my dreams. I am too weary to attempt any defense. I have no strength left to fight, and he knows it. He considers me dead already. Could I possibly? March 30th. How ironic! The cave my father sought for so many years is here, beneath the house. Waits. The butler discovered a crack in the cellar wall. A breeze blows in through it, icy and repugnant. I am filled with horror at the thought of my father dying in this place. I will carry to my grave the vision of his face contorted in the agony of that fatal heart attack. His body was twisted. He had wept. His fingernails were torn and bloody from scrabbling at the floor. Dr. Gray concluded that death had been due to a heart attack. It was Waits, who some time later was informed that my poor father had in fact bitten off his tongue and choked on his own blood. March 31st. I explored the caverns in a dream. The Dark Man came with me. Strangely, I felt almost well. How can I describe what I saw? No. What words are capable of explaining such evil?
This is a floppy disk game or a CD game. Originally a floppy disk game, this is the CD-ROM version, which is why it has audio, or voice acting.
I realized that my death was of no interest to him.
The dark man wants something else. He seeks a body. His avid servants are now free. I am the cause. It is almost funny. A curse is on Derceto. From the foundations to the very rooftop, I can no longer struggle, let alone eradicate the evil that grips the house. The end is very near, I can feel it. I have taken the decision to... May he who finds this diary pray for my soul.
God. Fucking... Mwah. Fucking beautiful performance. God, just chewing the digital scenery. Love it. What we don't love though is how much health we lost. We're just gonna open this save file and leave. Because that fight is completely optional. Here's an enemy you can't defeat. It's like Ultros from Final Fantasy VI. It has a really long range too. Like, what is that? We have no idea where it's supposed to be. Oh! As we said, very long range. Okay, gonna just search here, take the first aid kit, then we're gonna back out, let it calm down. I'm gonna run in, run in, run in. No, okay. No, we're not gonna run in apparently. Run in. Fuck. Run in. Run in. Yes! I don't think you can close doors, can you? No, let's just not even bother. Bye! This room is in the dark! So yeah, that was clearly written when the game was still just called In the Dark. In later games, in Alone in the Dark 2 and 3, they make sure to say the full name whenever you're in a dark room. Like, they will be like, shoot, I'm alone in the dark. Let's see, we want to use the oil can, the lamp is full. I want to use the matchbox. Aha! I don't think there's anything else of interest here. The remake of this game with updated graphics? No. We will be talking about that when we're done with the game, actually. There was a remake in development, and there is currently a reboot of the franchise on the way for next year. Okay, hold on, we're kind of lost. Oh, lamp's already lit. Sorry, we stuffed it in our pocket. There we go. The lamp can run out of oil, and there's a limited supply of oil in the game. So you don't want to have it lit too much. I'll go down to the bottom floor. See, do we have access to the basement? It's locked. Don't think we have the key for it. No, we do not. That's okay. Spiders. Use the statue. Oh yeah, we'll use the statue soon. So here we're gonna go and look at this big statue. See what's buried inside of it. Oh, arrows. You can. Oh, shit. Spiders! Spiders! The spiders cannot go inside. You only have 2 arrows. Well, we can always get the third one if we need it. Let's see, we're gonna put some stuff away. Let's find a corner. So we don't need empty oil can. Don't need the chest's key. Or the dresser key. Just point out that putting stuff away from your inventory is something that only Resident Evil 0 lets you do, but Alone in the Dark 1 allows you to do it. Let's open that. Let's put the old that one away. Okay, good. Yeah, the inventory is limited. Yeah, you want to see the use of the statue? Oh no! It's a living armor! The armor is now dead. That's the use of the statue. It's to get a sword if your saber breaks. Okay, we're now gonna try and aim with a bow and arrow. We need to shoot the painting on the far side of this corridor. Bow painting. And if we don't hit it, well, we have saved, so it's fine. But yeah, there are no more arrows in the game after the ones you pick up there. First try. So if you don't do that, when you get here, that painting will shoot out an arrow, which is like homing. It's like if you like start moving, the arrow will like follow you. You can't trick the arrow into rotating around you. In fact, let's do a backup save. Arrow clear. We'll see if we can maybe do the arrow trick. No. We'll try one more time. One more time. No. If you can get the arrow to like miss you and start circling, it can just circle around you. But the problem is that the camera will follow the arrow, not the player, so it makes it really difficult to play the game. Let's see, did we just push this? I don't remember. Yeah, we did. Okay, let's start with drinking some health potion. 27 health. I can read this parchment.
The Creatures of Night by Hubertus the Bald. Translated from Latin by his brother in prayer, Fratre Johann Marcus.
Of monstrosity. You who read me know that night engenders monsters, and that night creatures exist. The accursed book of Abdul al-Hazred is clear on this matter. That is not dead which can eternal lie. Unhappy he who knows that book. Unhappy he whose eyes alight upon that foulest of texts. Unhappy he who implores the standing stones, for he will free the powers of darkness. Of the pit. Stagnant waters are like the memory of men. Beneath the surface calm, clawed beasts await, and are known to initiates as the deep ones. Awaiting his prey, the deep one seizes him and drags him down to the abyss, where Dagon, the cruel god, swims and reveres him whose name may not be pronounced. Of libraries. Unhappy he who frees the prowler. Unhappy he who meets the prowler erring among the books. He generates the vagabond that comes from other spheres. He believes the vagabond does not exist. He will feel the embrace of death, for in the eyes of the vagabond, books are no more than dreams, stone no more than wind. The vagabond knows how to take the breath of the reckless. Of strife. He who speaks does not know, and believes he is able to kill the creatures of the night. Folly. Evil is conjured up by science and secrecy.
Huh? Okay, guess we'll finish this one. He who prowls among books will perish by the blade. He who flies in the dark caverns will scream in fear. He who swims in the depths will evaporate. But he
who prowls among books will perish by the blade. He who flies in the dark caverns will scream in fear. He who swims in the depths will evaporate. But he who believes he knows nothing. He who knows says nothing.
So that capital P was probably meant to be a /P for a new paragraph.
Of death. There are domains more terrible than death. That is not dead which can eternal lie. Each creature is conjured up and is not dead, but returns to the origins. A monster, a science. Steel kills the vagabond who never dies. Translator's note. Here ends the manuscript of Hubertus, who died in the library of the convent of Teruella in the year of our Lord 1666. Requiescat in pace.
Okay. So let's go deal with this prowler, shall we? This room's in the dark. Place this oil lamp down so we can move about freely. Oh shit! We thought the Prowler came from the other side. That's the Prowler. Okay, somewhere here is like... Oops. There's a mechanism to trigger, yes. You use the fake book. Oh, it's a fake book. Aha! It opened the door. Here's a safety pentagram. A talisman. Dagger, 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 parchment, parchment, book, book. Okay. Daggers. Let's see.
The Sacrificial Dagger, Otto Stern, Lumina Books.
The importance placed on ritual sacrifice is constant in religious cult practice. Propitiating the gods is a theme common to many religions. The Old Testament affords many examples. Primitive polytheistic belief systems integrate sacrifice in their rituals as part of the recurrent process of reaffirmation and, naturally enough, group cohesion. The members of their social and religious community come together in an act of purification and atonement. It would be erroneous to imagine the act of human sacrifice linking priest, offering, and God, C.F. Manzetti's stone cults, as anything less than a vital focusing of the group's faith. The act also ensures the continuing appeasement of the god, but only if practiced by a recognized officiating priest using the appropriate instrument. Studies made concerning primitive religious groups bear witness to the central role of sacrifice in living ritual. My own work in the field of ethnopsychology brought me into contact with a sorcerer living in the region of Arkham. He introduced me to the rite of steel, linked to a ceremony known as adoring the black goat of the woods with 1,000 youngs. The god being adored is known as the vagabond. Here, the dagger's role, which allows the life breath to pass from one dimension to another, is essential. The vagabond is a frightening figure, being able to move where he wants and to kill those who have displeased the goat god, for whom he acts as a go-between. The goat is clearly a fertility god. The priest, having spoken the invocation, must choose the appropriate dagger for the sacrifice. The knife with a sinusoidal blade that must be dipped 7 times on night when the moon is full in water that has been distilled 100 times will be laid aside, since it would send the vagabond back into his own dimension. See illustration. The priest will rather choose the dagger with a curved blade. That is more appropriate for slitting of the lamb's throat. This act transfigures the sorcerer priest and plunges the assembled worshippers into a divine trance.
Well, 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 it looks like this dagger, doesn't it? We have more stuff we will read, but we will wait with that until we are done with this part. Come on, Vagabond, which we inaccurately called the Prowler earlier. And it's dead. Anticlimactic, we know. Let's see, there's also a book to be picked up here. Ah, yes. Oh, we need to put some stuff away. Let's see. Empty flask. That should be good enough. What does the book do? Oh, very good question. Very good question. Let's find out, shall we? Let's head downstairs first. We have now completed this floor. Second floor. The third and second floor are completely done. We can go on to the first floor. Let's find out what does the books do. Oh, hold on. That annoys us. That annoys us. Oh. There we go. So we have a red book.
Fragments of the Book of Abdul.
Who here knows what the Book of Abdul is?
In the antique city of dead Relaya, Cthulhu dreams and waits. In the pit of time, the unspeakable lies in wait. That is not dead which can eternal lie. Relaya, your blocks of stone seal the ritual that gives birth to fear. Cthulhu Fatang! Cthulhu Fatang! Ayah! Ayah! Let he who knows how to invoke the stones act. It is time. Let the shadow of Cthulhu darken the sky. May the servitor of the black goat of the woods with 1,000 youngs sound his flute in honor of the unspeakable. Cthulhu Fatang! Cthulhu Fatang! Ayah! Ayah! May he who may not be named cast his withering gaze upon the unbeliever. For he is the door, the key, and the guardian of the door, and holds you now in his immense power.
So we just took damage reading the book. Hope you enjoyed that animation. Let's just look at the animation one more time, in case anyone looked away. Slamming your head on the floor. Then, thick! That does 5 damage. I wonder what the golden book does.
Ludwig Prien. De Vermis Mysteriis.
Oh yeah, by the way, the Book of Abdul is the Necronomicon.
Nomine invocatoris si non sanctificatus es cave. De Vermis Mysteriis non absolvo folem legendum fatum et eum versus. Tibi magnum
Inominandum signa stellarum nigrarum et
And that book kills you. Yeah, so these books, 5 damage, instant death.
Juan Luis Jorge, De Biblioteca. Reflections on the power of the verb in certain texts. Archaeos Publications, 1919, Stafford.
It's really mean, isn't it, to do that in a game that has mandatory reading. Okay, no, not mandatory reading, but if you don't want to just guess your way through every puzzle, you need to read.
Translation does not alter the occult power contained within such forbidden texts. The malevolent energy is in no way diminished. The spell must be cast aloud and clearly, in certain languages or little-known dialects. Maglafach Fathang. The reader will understand that, in the light of these revelations, I would be foolhardy to continue quoting from the text I have before me. If spoken aloud in its entirety, it would surely awaken powerful and malignant forces. I will go further and say that simple reading of some of the more technical passages describing specific practices is in itself a perilous exercise. The ill-prepared reader can easily fall prey to attacks of demented hysteria, not unlike those described in cases of individuals said to be possessed by evil spirits.
That's what we just did.
I recommend the study made by Zempf, Urbain, Grandier, and Loudon, and the reports made by the Reverend Richard Price concerning a number of astonishing, to say the least, exorcisms carried out in a parish near Providence. Given what I have written, we must be grateful to the librarians of the British Museum, who have never allowed consultation of the work of Al-Azif's startling work, the infamous Necronomicon. Copies of that work do exist, in spite of the zeal of book-burning inquisitors. For proof, we need look no further than the British Museum, of course, and the sealed archives of the Miskatonic University in Arkham. Other examples of books whose evil can be unleashed by any thoughtless reader are von Jutz's von Unersprechlichen Kulten and the abominable De Vermis Mysteries by Ludwig Prien, whose sordid death should be a lesson to all those tempted by a study of the occult.
Yeah, that's the one that kills you. So you do get a warning. Problem, of course, is that these just say a book. Let's see. We didn't read this parchment, did we?
The Book of Yael, Signs of Stone, Eucharistic Rituals of Forbidden Cults. Texts collated by Monsignor Vacher, legate in the Curia of the Vatican.
Numerous devilish cults speak of monstrous creatures called the Old Ones. These supernatural beings are believed to be possessed of powers equivalent to those of the gods of antique religions. Adepts of such cults refer to forbidden literature in order to cause these frightful entities to appear before them. What serious student of folk myths has not come across the names of Cthulhu and Shub-Niggurath? It must be said that these creatures wield tremendous power and are difficult to control once they have been unleashed into the world. Those who serve He who goes in shadows protect themselves with signs of stone, carved into the walls of houses or engraved on various objects. For those misguided servants of evil, the best protection appears to be that afforded by the sign of the most ancient gods, engraved in Minar stone, a heavy material said to be disagreeable to the touch. The sinful practices of those who fall into such errors can only lead to the darkest of despair, and are a mortal danger to the soul. Such monsters as those invoked by these foolhardy individuals are engendered when reason drops its guard. Man is easily tempted into perversion. It is why we must forever remain alert and renounce Satan with each breath we take. His ways are infinite in number.
Yeah, that's kind of ironic given what happens to Edward Carnby in later games. Okay, let's see. I think we have the basement key. Yeah, we should put away the lamp so it doesn't end. We don't lose our... Okay, it's a different key. Just keep going. Oh, hey! Pot of soup. Oh, okay. Fine, let's put some stuff away again. Yeah. Hey, a pot of soup. Let's see, can we examine it without... No. Okay, we're gonna save just in case. Yuck! Some human flesh. Okay, good, we didn't take any damage. Well, see, the thing about that, right, is the Necronomicon stuff was not guarded. It was just in a bookshelf at the library, unlike the warnings not to read them. There's a knife here? No, it's a biscuit box. Okay. Guess the knife is in the cupboard over here then. Yes, we're not gonna take it though. Knives are useless. Maybe this key unlocks the cellar. We want to make sure we don't forget about the cellar. Yes. These rats can attack you. They don't do much damage, but they can be pretty annoying. But the cellar is one of those things like at first seem optional to go to, but right at the end of the game, if you haven't been here and done a thing, you can't beat the game. This game greatly influenced... Yeah, Resident Evil is very inspired by this game. You need to pick up this block so that these barrels roll away. That's all you need to do. But if you don't do that, at the end of the game, you can't win. You have to hopefully find an old save and you know, start over from there. Yeah. Check. One of these shelves have something. This one? Could have sworn one of the shells had something. Bullets. We'll take it. You fill the jug. Yay! Sorry. We probably won't need this, but just in case, we're gonna take the old can. And they're ghouls, to be exact, but we also call them zombies. A room full of ghouls! These will, one at a time, start coming at you. Well, not one, but they will wake up one at a time. But we have a pot of soup with human flesh. So what if we put that on the table? Now the ghouls will just eat the soup. Yes, that is actually how you do that puzzle. Otherwise you have to fight all of them. Wait, is there nothing here? Really? Huh. I sworn there was. Oh well. What's in here? Oh no, smoke! Smoke is deadly. Literally. So we need to pour water on the cigar. Oh, we didn't do it fast enough. Yay! We blew up the cigars. Now the smoke won't kill us. We're gonna leave this for now and that as well, because we need to clear out our inventory. Let's see, we don't need the jug anymore. Oh wow, this looks like a saber would fit in perfectly. So if you break the saber, you just have to put both parts of it in there instead. We're not gonna head down there just yet. We're doing things in a slightly strange order. comes out of knowing the game. Boss fight. We have a sword, right? Yeah. So this room has a pirate. You can only fight this pirate with the sword. If you try to shoot the pirate, this happens. He just backflips away and laughs at you. It's a problem, right? There's no consistency on how to fight this pirate. It's completely arbitrary if you hit or miss. Or if you like your swords clash. So all you can really do is just keep wailing at him. Until you win or lose. And we play this game. We played this game for over 20 years. And like maybe 8 years ago or something, we've decided to finally like look up a guide. Like, is there a way to be more consistent in this boss fight? At least from the guys that we checked, no. It's just completely random. First time we played through this, we genuinely weren't sure if we were like doing something wrong. Like if we felt like we weren't like oh, we gotta hit them. Like we weren't doing any damage. But and every so often you would see some blood and be like, oh wow, something is happening. Now, to be fair, the hits do tend to get more consistent if he gets cornered. But like, getting him cornered is also not consistent. Like, there you go, that's the boss fight. Boom, he turns into a key! It's locked. Maybe we use the key here. Sure do. These statues are ghosts. If you touch them, they become balls, and they will chase you all across the floor until you die. So what do? We need the thing behind them. So we're gonna try and play some music for them. Hello, Net. The ghosts don't like Blue Danube. That's okay, we have other music. Oh, sorry, we need to take the gramophone. Maybe they like the red record. They don't like posthumous Opus 69. We like this one a lot. Maybe they like the green record. Oh fuck, they love the Dance of Death. Dance Macabre. Okay, so here's the problem. They're kind of random in how they dance, and if they touch you, they will turn into balls and start killing you. So, we're gonna try and just... Hopefully, they will not... Please don't move here. Please. Okay. Run! Run! Run, Emily! Run, Emily! Oh, we did it. We have cleared the first floor. Oh, there was a book there. Hold on. Almost forgot to read.
Daemonia Particularis, Signs and Rituals, by Heinrich Cassel, Ring Publications. The ritual of invocation demands that the officiant be pure. We have already described the complex operations to be followed in order to call those that sleep in superior dimensions. We shall, for the present, limit ourselves to the sign of mutual recognition used amongst their number by adepts of the cult of the Old Ones. The sign also serves as protection when in the presence of a servant of evil. The sign resembles a blessing, save that the first and little fingers are both folded beneath the thumb, whilst the second and third fingers are held up. It would appear that this sign has no effect on adepts of a certain rank with knowledge of particular secrets contained in the corpus demonicus. The use of such signs is not without considerable risk to the user during any attempt to call upon those from without.
Okay, let's see. Gonna just put some stuff away before we go down. Oh, no, I need that. We have 2 more books to read.
Memories, by Alistair Boleskine. Printed in London, A. Machin, editor, 1833.
It was during a conversation with G that one first heard of the New England fishing village of I. The area was apparently the ideal place from which to witness unusual phenomena in space. The quality of the air, along with the conjunction of several favorable factors, made one impatient to get started. Having gleaned what information one could from the British Museum, one set off with all haste. One's work on space and comets in particular had met with a warm response, and one thought it judicious to include several original sketches of the phenomenon, sketches which one felt were sure to arouse a great deal of keen interest in the scientific circles of 1834. One refers naturally to the passage of Halley's comet.
Editor's note: Lord Boleskine's memoirs end at this point. Who knows what extraordinary contributions he might still have made had he not succumbed during his visit to New England to dementia, followed by an early death in St. Andrew's Hospital.
And if you want to know more about that, you need to play Infogrames' second Call of Cthulhu game, Shadow of the Comet, which was the first one to actually keep the name after Alone in the Dark lost it.
The Tale of Captain J.W. Norton of the Army of the Union.
1862. The South was in collapse. Louisiana was open to us. I had each day to requisition victuals for our troops, and was aided in this endeavor by a score of brave men. Rebels were not yet ready to lay down their arms. The region was far from safe. I headed further and further west, and questioned many freed slaves. From them, I learned of a plantation on the coast. Its name was Derceto. We received a less than hearty welcome. Only Pickford, the owner, behaved in a friendly manner. While my men counted cattle and grain reserves, I learned what I could from him. Man was most unusual and possessed an extraordinarily cultured mind. At nightfall, I gave orders for the men to bivouac at Derceto. Pickford invited my second-in-command, Lieutenant Patterson, and myself to dine. And our host proved a most entertaining conversationalist. While coffee was being served, Patterson went to inspect the men's camp. The cigar Pickford offered me was so acrid that my head began to spin. I remembered campfire tales of fellow officers trapped by devilish Confederate tricks. My mind floated in a foul and dense fog, from which emerged the enlarged and deformed face of Pickford. He grinned at me. Patterson's return chased off the nightmare. I heard shouts and firing from outside and found the strength to take out my revolver. I fired 3 shots. Pickford fell to the floor. Patterson then helped me out of the burning house. The air was filled with smoke. We resembled a company in disorderly retreat. I saw slaves leaping into the flames of that inferno. They were trying to save Pickford's life.
Go. Basement or the caves is the final part of the game. And if we don't manage to run here, we're done for. Okay, good. So for those who came late, the way you run is you double tap forward, but it almost never works. Oh no! It's a Chthonian! Which, if you don't know, that's a big worm. Oh no, it's one of those annoying, like, doggy enemies. Oh, what the fuck? Never seen that happen before. Didn't know that the Chthonian came out in that place. Hello, Louise. You know, you probably don't need to throw everything away. We don't need to pick up that many more things. Let's try this again. Oh no! It's a Chthonian! It's a big worm! We're gonna shoot this asshole this time. 3 shots. I'll have to do. Shit. Fuck. I'm gonna use the sword instead. I have to reload. Hold on. Did we never find any shotgun shells? There are shotgun shells. Combat is better if you play as Edward. The worm is staying there? Strange Chthonian. No, this is the exit. That's not where we're supposed to go yet. Pretty sure we went right the first time. Not sure why the Chthonian suddenly appeared and attacked us. Maybe we're supposed to wait for something here? We normally... We've never had this happen before. Is it different if you play as Edward? Well, whatever. It's dealt with now. Look at that big fella. Oh god. I think we're stuck on something. Oh, there we go. Yay! So, you thought that combat was this game's weakness? Well, what if we told you that the game now decides to be a Prince of Persia style platformer? We now have the jump option. That's a deep one. Servants of Dagon. A giant rat spider. Or something. You can attack these bats, but they're really difficult to hit. So you just want to get lucky and hope they don't knock you off, whatever you're doing. Like that. Welcome to the second most annoying room in the game. Especially because like the lack of depth perception here is a real issue. Got it. More Chthonian tunnels. Spider! You don't have to fight that one. Here's the most annoying room in the game. Oh, come on. Yeah, if you land in the water, your lamp turns off and your matches are soaked. If you don't have the lighter here, you're fucked. Technically, if you do all the platforming perfect always, you can maybe clear the game without the lighter. I'm not entirely sure actually, because you do need to have the lamp on. There's a water room later, but maybe you can throw the lamp before you go into the water. I've never actually tried that. Maybe we will try it here just to see if it works. Oh no! A chest. It's locked. But we have the giant... we have the giant key. A gem. A book. Wait. Wait, fuck. Wait, no. Do you not use the gem and the rock here? Hold on, what does the book say?
Memoirs of a Lost Soul.
The mask must fall. You who discover this manuscript understand this. I am here at your side. I am waiting in the darkness of my crypt. Soon you will belong to me. One of my slaves wrote this document. I have lived for 3 centuries, and my name is Ezekiel Prext, or Elijah Pickford. You may choose which to call me. I do not hide out of fear. My power is immense. I have sailed the 7 seas. My ship, the Astarte, spread terror through all the continents. The corsairs judged me like the Welsh judges of 1620, but they could not destroy me, and neither could the pirates. Now, I am immobilized. Damned Yankees! Witchcraft, voodoo, and the Cthulhu cult. I know them all. I have reigned and implored the stones. Only the Catonian haunts the cavern and resists me, but he dare not attack. I have need of a living body to regenerate myself. The Heartwoods managed to escape from me, but you who are reading these words, you will yield to my embrace. I hear your ragged breath and smell the stench of your fear. I have vanquished death. I built Deseto. I know what it is to wait. Cthulhu helps me. My servants will lay you upon the sacrificial stone. My roar will rend the night. You will be mine, and I shall reign once more. Come to me.
Do we need the fucking pirate hook? Did we somehow... But there should be a pirate hook. Where is that? Pretty sure that's what we need here. Can't believe we're... Where's the pirate? Oh, come on. Emily. Where's the pirate hook then? Did we somehow miss that, like, key item? I feel like we went into every room. You're supposed to push the rock aside. Did we try that? Because in that case the pirate hook is in the final room. Like we remembered. But... Oh yeah, okay, yeah, we remember now. Hold on. Yeah, we mixed up the door. There's like 3 stone doors that like are very... They look the same way. You use the hook on one, you use a gem on one, and you use... apparently you push one aside. We did not remember that. Hopefully we can jump across here. Nope. Running all the way over here it is. What do we say? This is the most annoying room in the game. Yeah, so Ezekiel Pregs is, or Pickford if you want his American name, is the main antagonist of this game. He was a pirate, he became a plantation owner, he is a cultist, he is currently a living tree, or an undead tree might be a better word. Oh no, we should have written maze, because it's not a labyrinth, it's a maze. They're not the same thing. Yeah, so the one to the north here is the one you use the hook on. Do we remember the path? We couldn't. So again, remember, it's a limited amount of lamp oil in this game, and you need it to beat the game. So this is a timed section. Fuck. We used to know this maze perfectly. There it is. Final boss. So, let's try this out, yeah? Wait, no! No, we were gonna say let's try throwing the lantern from here. But no, we need to first place the talisman. So yeah, if you don't have the lighter, you're just screwed. Actually, no. If you carry the lantern, you're fine. This right here, and yes, the flame ball did kill the deep one. That right there, throwing a lantern at a fucking tree person so it explodes, that's basically the basis for the entirety of Alone in the Dark 5. Where like everything is built around playing with fire. And burning trees. Or roots. Is the game's own version of the name. Oh, we forgot to show a funny death scene. We're gonna do that later. Can't we forgot, like, probably our favorite death scene apart from the snapping your own neck and dying death scene. No, this is the wrong way. Where is it? Hold on. Wait, hold on. Where did we come from? We need to find the Chthonian's tunnel. Yeah, okay, it's this way. Yeah, thankfully we do have an early save file, so we can just load that one. I think there's no enemies left now, but I think you can still like die from being hit by debris and stuff like that. Yeah, so remember how we said that we need to go to the basement to like move those barrels? Otherwise you can't beat the game? Yeah. That applies now. Because the only way to get out, because the bridge falls down, is to go through this little hole in the Chthonian tunnel behind the barrels. If you try to enter the tunnels that way, the Chthonian will eat you. But you have to exit that way. So if you never go to the basement, or if you go to the basement and you don't move those barrels, hope you have a save file. Because you can't go back if you go to the basement, because the whole thing with the bridge falling apart. And that's Alone in the Dark. The original survival. And that's Alone in the Dark. The original survival horror. Edward Carnby's victory dance is more fun. He like jumps in the air. It's really good. Cabs right on time. Oh no, it's a skeleton man. That is never followed up on. Alone in the Dark. I have our Edward cosplay visible now. We do actually have a red vest as well to match Edward, but we didn't have it available right now. So that's all in the dark. We do have some more stuff to show. So please stick around. First off, we're gonna show the death scene we forgot to share. There's one fun death scene that we forgot to share. So we do want to make sure we show all the death scenes that are like unique cutscenes. Okay, so like, maybe you were thinking, if it's just about escaping the house, why don't you just leave immediately, right? That seems like a sound thing to do things. The doorway eats you. All in the dark. Okay, so we do have more to show you, as I mentioned. So, as someone asked earlier, if this game was given any remake, and we said no. Hold on, it's gonna boop that, and 1 sec. Where's our... Okay. Actually, no, let's just do it like this instead. So, there was a planned remake. It was in development in around 2010, 2009, 2010, something around there. And we have some stuff to show from it. Okay, so let's see. We're gonna take the do a quick window share. Why is that not working? Okay, okay, fine. Guess we'll do it this way then. Change. Here's just a regular fucking Explorer window. So here's, first off, some concept art. Dercedo from the remake. This is actually the backdrop that we're using right now. Some more concept art. Temporary title screen. Some gameplay comparison shots that we have right here. Concept art. This logo, which is actually just a reused logo from the Alone in the Dark 5's early development. More concept art, more concept art. But we have gameplay. We have gameplay. That's the exciting thing. If we just quickly do DLC source, we're gonna add Here you can see it's the Edward is moving about. It's very dark, but it's a low quality video, and keep in mind it's also very early in development. This is being in development by Inforgrames, who made the 5th Alone in the Dark game.
Ils arrivent.
They also made the Test Drive Unlimited.
J'ai libéré des forces infernales. Je dois en payer le prix.
This remake was never fully
J'entends leur
released,
pas.
But first concept art leaked from it through
Adieu.
Yeah, there is no sound here. You can see it's a very unfinished room. This is just the inventory screen from Alone in the Dark 5. Yeah, as you can see, it was very much in the vein of like Resident Evil 2002 remake, where like the whole fixed camera angle and such is kept, but there's also a bunch of things changed. Like that's just a human from Alone in the Dark 5, probably temporarily. Oh wow, there all the chat stuff came in. Our stream thing is really not good with that today. The night gaunts here are just replaced with like a fog or something instead. Not very exciting, but you know. It was probably temporary as well, because this was very much like the early pitch demo. Like being able to see that there's stuff inside the pot is a nice touch. And that's just a throw mechanic from Alone in the Dark 5. Yeah, so instead of like using mirrors to fight night gaunts here, you use like jewels to make like pentagram symbol, which, you know, given that you use those later in the story, it was probably a good idea. That enemy right there is the Alone in the Dark 5 version of... I forget if those were called ghouls as well. But they were like planned early on for Alone in the Dark 5, but were never actually used in it. It's kind of fun to see them like back. We do have some more footage from it. Hold on. We have this. Oh, just completely changed. This is a slightly earlier build. Or possibly slightly later build. It's a higher quality video, so you can see things a little better. But it's also like not super like interesting. Can we not move in this video? We want to just move ahead to like one of the they show like some death scenes and such. It's not in the other footage that we showed. Yeah, sadly this project got cancelled. And then Atari made Alone in Dark Illuminations instead, which was awful. And yeah, it's a shame. We think that this kind of remake would be very cool. Now we do have the upcoming remake, which I mean, let's have a look at that. Well, since we're here. So the upcoming game is like a remake slash reboot. There we go.
There is a house in New Orleans they call the Rising Sun, where thousands of young to salvation have gone. Oh God, she knows I'm one.
Don't let them get inside, compare. They're not the good kind.
Derceto isn't cursed or blessed. It's a battleground.
Maybe the Dark Man just likes it when you suffer.
Have you ever talked to a doctor about your condition?
This is madness!
Are you crazy? Fall on your knees, wear the mask, praise his name.
Welcome to the madhouse, detective.
So that's the upcoming one. Most likely coming next year. It has a few key differences. Derceto is now a home for the mentally ill, instead of just a mansion that a painter lived in. It's mixing the first 3 games into one story. We'll see how it turns out. But yeah. That's Alone in Dark 1. Don't know if we have much else interesting to share about it. Let's see. Oh yeah, we can mention that actually. That's pretty fun. So I'm gonna throw up an image here. The original release of the game came with this, which is like meant to be a like a newspaper clipping about Jeremy Hartwood's suicide, but also it features like his artwork, which he talks about in his suicide letter on the left there. I think that's pretty neat. Now, we do want to play the rest of the series. The main issue is that our favorite one is our favorite ones are the first one and the fifth one. We probably should play 2 and 3 at the very least before the fifth one. I just want to jump onto the fifth one because the fifth one is hated, but we love it. It would be so much fun to talk about that. But you know, we could probably do like one-off streams for 2 and 3 as well. They're not very long games when you know what to do in them. So yeah, with that, don't really have much more to say about this stream. Thank you so much for watching. It was a lot of fun. The next Resident Evil stream will be taking place on Sunday night at midnight as usual, so Sunday to Monday midnight. And we'll also get back to Story of Seasons. Haven't forgotten about that, just haven't had time. And we'll schedule in Alone in the Dark 2 at some point in the near future as well. That'll be fun. Yeah. Take care.